right, so we are on project number 6, and we're about to get started. We've got 13 large aqua blocks, 2 pump housing vaults, a couple extensions. I'm really excited for this project because we get to play with 2 5,000 to 9,000 gallon per hour pumps going through 3-inch lines. So we're gonna have some really substantial water flow. The other thing that really gets me excited and fired up is that we have a 15-foot wide liner to play with. So we're gonna be able to get some really natural twists and turns happening within this space. What we're gonna be building is a 30-foot long pondless waterfall. We've got a lot of build up to do, but we know that we're gonna be digging our basin first. It's a 7x7 square, and we're gonna have it kind of coming out so that it looks like it's coming from underneath that tree, because they have this awesome backdrop of woods. So right away it was calling to me saying this is a really good spot for it, so we can make it feel like it's coming out of the woods, coming towards the house. As always, when we're designing something for you, we're always trying to think of how you use your space. Like, where are you looking out the windows the most? Where do you like to spend the most time indoors? What's really fun is we did most of our consultation with each other, designing everything from their kitchen table, which is right in this awesome little build out in their house, right in the kitchen. And then they have an area right here where they like to spend a lot of time, and they're already talking about putting in a larger picture frame window to kind of get that closer to the ground so they even get a better view. And then another fun thing is they're redoing their deck, so they're gonna even open it up more, really make it inviting. So it's our job to make sure that the waterfall is also inviting. We really want people to want to come down, investigate it, walk around it, and we're gonna do some really fun things to help with that. So we might have a couple waterfalls that point in the opposite direction so that you do want to kind of walk around. The other thing that's really important is on this project is that we make a couple of big boulders for them to sit on next to the waterfall and have their feet in the water. Another fun thing for me is we get to mix in fire and water. So something that's going to be really cool is we're going to be putting in a fire pit right in this area that's going to be nestled in really close to where the waterfall is coming in. So when you're sitting here, there's going to be some giant character boulders, and then there'll be a fire pit somewhere in this area, really making it intimate and close to where they're going to be sitting and enjoying the water feature. And then we always like to off-center our fire pits when we do that, so you're able to sit on the boulders close to the fire, but we're going to have a ring of gravel that's a little offset going backwards, so you can have chairs that can move closer and further away from the fire. So if you're like me and you like to have some big fires and it gets a little warm, you don't have to sit on these boulders. You can sit in your chairs and move them back a little ways. And then we're going to have some stepping stones going through it so that you can kind of walk down different paths. And then they have 5 trees we're going to be planting for them and a couple of birch trees. So we got some pine trees we're going to get planted, some river birch, and then Adam's going to come in and do his thing and give suggestions, and possibly they're going to let us do some plantings. If you saw project number 5, the one we just completed, and that should have been last week's episode, they let us plant it, and it's so exciting for us to do that. It gets me really charged up because Adam has a green thumb and he knows where to put different things, how to have things blooming throughout different seasons. And our best water features are the ones that get plants right up next to it, get them really intimate, and they start breaking up that real masculine look of what it looks like when we're first finished. We've got a lot of work ahead of us. We're going to be picking boulders on Monday. We've got a full load of dirt, but the goal for today is just to get the dirt tarped for the weekend so we don't have to deal with any rain and try and get this basin in. So Brad and I already got the aqua blocks ready. We've got our footprint. We know what we're about to do, so it's time to start doing it. Thanks for joining us. Keep watching because we're about to create a living work of art, and it starts 1 yard at a time. All right, so we're here picking boulders for project number 6. We got Adam learning how to pick them with me, knowing that we have our machine as a limitation, but other than that, that's really our only limitation. So we want to get some big rocks that can help us set the stage. So we've got a couple already picked out. And then we want a few that are going to be for sitting on, so we want some flat, square ones. And we just want to give ourselves lots of options. Even though we think they're cool here, we might have an idea where we want them. When we start getting them on site, that always changes. So keep watching because we're going to have some fun with these boulders. Hey, what's up everyone? We're getting started on day number 2 here, which is really like half a day, but I'm really excited because we do have boulders getting delivered. You can see in the background. Dan always says I like a challenge, and he just said maybe I should stop saying that because we definitely have a long driveway. That's a little bit of a challenge to back into, but didn't stop him at all. We've got some really beautiful boulders picked out. Adam and I picked them out this morning, and really it was mainly Adam going to town. We're really trying to elevate our guys. We've got Brad doing an excellent job of making sure the job's moving forward here while we were doing that, and Sam has just hopped in with a great attitude, making sure that we're really paying attention to quality control. Brad has so much experience with us. He knows the next steps, and we're very grateful because he just hopped right in, knew what to do, getting the basin ready. Because if you've been watching us, you kind of have an idea of how our flow goes when we're building something. With a Pondless, we always start with the basin so that we can hide that basin in, and it's not just this huge pile of gravel. So with that being said, we've got a 7 by 7 foot hole that we're going to be putting our aqua blocks in, but it's not going to end up being 7 by 7 that you see. We're going to end up building on top of those aqua blocks. The main reason we have that hole is for water storage. So we always have to consider how much water is going to be held in suspension, and then we double that for planning purposes. And then we always like to add a little extra because that gives us room for creativity. Doesn't really hinder us on what we can do. I'm just feeling really grateful getting here. The guys had the tarps pulled up. Our clients couldn't have been awesomer over the weekend. They were managing the tarps, helping us drain rainwater. We weren't expecting rain on Sunday, but it did rain and they had the tarps down for us. So keeping our job site rolling. We really appreciate our clients, and just feeling really grateful here today. So with that being said, we're gonna get these boulders unloaded. I've got the hyperlapse set up so you can see what that process looks like, and then we'll switch back over to us building the basin, and then we'll kind of walk you through our thought processes. Can't wait to show off these boulders because man, there are some ones that got me really fired up in there that are really pretty, perfect for what we're trying to do, and some that might be a little heavy, but we've got open space here where if we have to use both machines to get the right rock in the right place, we'll be able to do that. With that being said, it's time to get to work. There's Boulder Dan. As you can see, like, we love working with him. We've worked with him for going on 10 years now. Boulder Dan is an artist in his own right. He knows how to pick the boulders, but look at his craftsmanship. He has come up with a way to secure all these rocks so they're safe going down the road. And this is one of the things people really appreciate about our process. We pay extra for this clam truck delivery because we get to put these rocks down how we want them, where we want them, and with care. So we're not just dumping a huge pile of rocks and then it could sit for a little while before we get there. Another thing people really appreciate about the process is that we pick out all these boulders. So we're looking for character boulders, unique boulders, and Dan is just excellent at knowing what's a unique boulder. So we're gonna turn it over to the hyperlapse here. You can watch him unload, and then we'll go back over and start working on the main waterfall, which is gonna be really fun to build. We appreciate you, Boulder Dan. You're awesome. The care and attention to detail is something that not everyone has, but you are a true craftsman and an artist. Thank you for all you do for us, buddy. Hopefully you see this. He's even paying attention to the trees, making sure he's not going to hit any main branches. Little guys are okay, but when you start hitting the big, thick ones, they don't move as well, they break. So hitting a little drip line isn't going to hurt the tree. Maybe knock a couple leaves down, but that's not really that big of a deal. And that's his custom-made setup to make sure these rocks never bounce around on the trailer when he's going down the highway. And here's the process. It's amazing what he can do in a matter of 20 minutes. He'll probably have all these boulders unloaded in that time frame or even less. First one! All right, well, we'll let him do his thing. Let's go back to the building waterfalls. Good morning, everyone. So we are starting to talk about what we're going to be doing and kind of planning and strategizing. We already used up a full load of dirt, so we've got more coming today, but Sam has brought up a good point. He can already tell there's a low edge over here, so he was asking, what do we do? And what we'll end up doing on a spot like that is we still want to blend a lot of this hillside down. So we've got a lot of dirt we have to bring over here, and we'll fold the liner up, pack dirt into there, and help make sure that we get above these waterfalls. But man, we got a lot done yesterday. I'm really excited by the progress. We've got ourselves set up for some really cool splits to happen, where we've got some wide stuff and we've got some narrow stuff. So that really gets me excited. Got a rapid section coming through here. A couple of huge boulders that you could just choose to sit on, especially this one. You'll have your feet in the water here and you'll be able to just sit down once these rocks are moved and have the water just kind of cascading over your feet. We've got a lot to do. We're going to be building our fire pit probably area, at least doing the excavation, getting our big boulders in place. Brad's greasing our machines. That's a huge deal to us because something I often forget because I get so excited to create. So when someone's willing to take care of our machinery for us, that makes sure they can keep running without any problems. So thank you to Brad for doing that. And our guys got the mats laid out, so we're ready to start creating. It's a little after 8 and we're about to have fun on day number 2. So thanks for watching. Keep watching because we're going to have more stuff to show you throughout this episode. Then once it's up and running, we'll give you a teaser, and then tune in next week because we're going to have our final reveal. And I'm excited to show this off because we've got a front water feature to show off, a bubbling sphere, which you're going to get to see in our next week's episode. Sorry. This is project number 6. Project number 7 is the bubbling sphere, which we put in early May, but we've been saving it so that we could show them both off at the same time. So after you get to see us building that sphere, then we're going to do our final reveal episode where we show off everything. And I can't wait because they're going to be talking to Adam about plantings, and we've got some trees to plant as well. And we're going to really make this feel like this intimate private paradise. So this is really fun for me. Thank you.
Okay, so when we're planting trees, shrubs, any plants really, what we want to look at, one of the things we want to look at is we want to look at the roots when we pull it out of the pot. And one of the things to look for is this. We've got this root that starts over here, comes all the way around, and the danger of this root is as this tree grows, all this is going to expand out. This root is also going to get bigger. And eventually what it could end up doing is choking off this tree, what we call girdling, creating a ring around it so that nutrients can't get through the bark, can't get up into the leaves, and will kill it off. Now, that may be 20 years down the road, but that doesn't matter. We want this thing to last 40, 50 years, the maximum lifespan that we can get out of this tree. So what we want to do is we want to come in here and we want to just tease this out. Get this pulled out so that it doesn't wrapping around, and then eventually what we'll do is we'll point this out so that it's going away from this tree. It's not encircling it, causing a girdling. Also, another thing that we look at is these tie-offs. They've got these bamboo sticks here to keep the tree up, which is great, but these tie-offs, they don't allow for a lot of expansion either, and we can see right down here where one of them has started to girdle this branch. And so I always cut these off. If we need to fasten this back to this, we'll get some twine, something that will really degrade over a couple of years rather than maybe 5, 10 years, and maybe cause damage to this tree.
Hey, what's up everyone? We're at the start of day 4.5. We had a half day on Friday, but today's Thursday and we're getting things underway here. Really fun to come back to a project. I had the day off yesterday. I don't know if you've been following us or not, but both my mom and wife are going through cancer right now, and we met with the oncologist. Had some good news and some rough news, but we're all determined to do what's necessary to heal. My wife is a warrior. She's been dealing with breast cancer since July of 2019, and my mom got diagnosed with lung cancer earlier this spring. So we've got a good plan of action to move forward, some really positive things there. But I wasn't here yesterday, and the guys were here. We had Adam, Sam, and Justin working together, and man, I'm really excited to come back and see what they had gotten done. They did some really pretty things with their gravel work and their mixing of textures. They prepped the fire seating area. We know we're going to be doing some bullet edges, which I think is really fantastic because those bullet edges really make it easy to mow the lawn, but it gets a really cool definition of where the patio starts and where the grass starts. So it really is a nice look together. So we're going to go with a charcoal bullet edge around the fire area, the seating area here, and then we're going to do a 3/4 inch river rock on this because that's really easy to move a chair on. It does lock in over time, so you can move your chairs closer and further to the fire. As I said, we're going to be putting the fire ring probably somewhere around here, but they have a cool one coming on Saturday, so hopefully we'll be able to show that to you next week because it's this really cool piece of artwork that's going to really help blend all this art together. And with a movable fire pit, you can move it back and forth, but the goal was to make sure that you could move it close to these seating boulders, and then you could have enough room for a bunch of chairs on the other side of that fire pit. The chairs are nice because when the fire starts getting really hot, you can move away from it, where maybe the boulders might get a little uncomfortable, but that'll be fun because they'll have a movable fire pit to be able to play with. We've got tons of gravel ready to roll. We've got ourselves boulders so that we can start building our retaining wall on the backside under that tree. We're gonna get some outcroppings going, and then when Adam gets here, we're gonna start working on the rapid section. The guys are just firing on all cylinders right now. Brad is hiding in the bushes as he's doing one of the tasks that nobody really likes doing. So we really are grateful for him just taking that on with a positive attitude. And that's putting in our top off line. So when we're setting these up for our clients, we really are trying to think, how can we make this as easy to enjoy as possible? And one of the ways we do that for them is by installing an auto float valve, because wherever you have moving water, you're gonna have evaporation. So we want to account for that evaporation. And the way we do that is with a float valve. It's much like the back of your toilet where when it's low, it just adds water automatically. But we do need a water source. And in this case, it's probably about 75 feet away from the water feature. And Brad's taking it on, hiding it, burying it under the dirt, under rocks, behind the bushes. And while that was happening, Sam was staging boulders for us, getting us ready to start placing these big ones and building that retaining wall. So the team is doing awesome. I'm so grateful for these guys. We have an outstanding team. Adam had to deal with a little bit of a curveball today when he got his trailer loaded for us with all the boulders that he was picking out. Found out we had a flat tire. So he had to have those boulders unloaded at the rock yard, put into a special pile, and then go find out where we can get that repaired. So Adam will be here at some point today with the boulders so that we can keep things rolling. But man, another thing that Brad did for the team was he took on like a whole day of working on the MT85. Had a real bad screech going on the wheels. Some of the grease zerks have just gotten solidified. We can't even get grease into those tires. He ended up taking apart a bunch of the axles, greasing those up, and now it's running smooth. So we're very grateful for all the guys on our team because everyone has a goal. We want to leave a piece of artwork behind for you. We want to be proud of what we've left behind, and we want it to stand the test of time. Justin is out of town, so he's getting to have a nice little break, and we're just going to keep doing what we can. So when he comes on Monday, he goes, wow, this is awesome, guys. But we can't do that while we're talking to the camera the whole time, right? So it's time for us to get to work. Just wanted to give you a little update and kind of let you know how things are flowing, and they're flowing really nicely. And it's going to be even better when we actually get the water flowing and we bring this water feature to life. So you're going to want to keep watching because we'll have a little teaser for you. And then next week, you're going to tune in and you're going to see us installing the bubbling sphere, which has already happened. And then the week after that, we're going to come back and give you the final reveal where we're showcasing everything we've done on this project between the bubbling sphere, this amazing Pondless waterfall, and all the plantings and trees they're so graciously letting us do. So let's get to work. Thank you.
We've got the patio area with the bullet edging. Some tough shadows here, but it looks really clean. The customer has added that on. They wanted that clean line, at least around the patio. And now we're working on the final little bits of the water feature. Sam and Brad working together up top up there on the diffusers. I'll take you up there so you can see that. We're getting, as you can see, all the details done. We've got a variety of different rocks. We've got 1.5 inches. I even got a little 3/4 inch left from the patio, which is nice. And 2 to 4, 6 to 12s. All these different great varieties we like to work with. And you can see that edge. Get my shadow out of there. And you can see that edge tucked up really nice, ready for mulch and plants. And really we just want that up really tight. We don't want just that gravel border around the whole thing. We want the mulch to go right up to big rocks. Some areas we got gravel, 2 to 4, 6 to 12s kind of coming out, just like you'd see in nature. So we really take our time to mix those up. Very important part Brad and Sam are working on here. Plumbing up the diffusers. So we'll have a split waterfall up here. One diffuser is going to come over this rock and the other one over this rock right here. So, and then a rapid section going away from us. That water will just be churning through all this in kind of a cool way. Get to that grand waterfall there. Split again, and disappear into the reservoir. And we actually have it so it's going to disappear mainly under that rock right there. So that should be really cool. All right, we'll keep you posted. Thanks, y'all. Excited to plug it in for you and show you. Won't be long.
All right, so we're on day 7 here on Project 6, and we're getting really close to firing it up and getting the tester on everything. Really happy with the way this is turning out. It's got a really good flow to it. Outcroppings of boulders are in really great spots. Got some trees planted. That's really fun for us. Got a couple planted on the side of the water feature that are going to really grow in and fill this in, giving that depth like it's coming out of the woods. Then we got another couple to make some privacy for when they're sitting on the fire pit. So we planted about 7 trees, moved in tons of dirt because we really tried to fight that volcanic look, and I think we did a really good job of really blending it in. Then we're going to start adding plantings and things like that over time, and that'll really make it feel like it was always here. The goal is to make it feel like it's coming out of the woods underneath that cedar tree, and it really is doing that. There's a lot of work to do. We've got detail work, and then we'll be spreading mulch and doing our final cleanup. Right now, Sam's working on putting on a post. Adam's getting ready to test run the pumps, and things are going really good. So we'll get you a little teaser, and then you're going to want to tune in 2 weeks from now because that'll be our final reveal episode. We'll have come back to it once we get some more plants in here and stuff, and then we'll show this off. But we also get to show off what we did in the spring for them. We'll also get to show off what we did in the spring with that bubbling sphere. That's project number 7 when you're watching our episode. So that'll be next week. You want to tune in for that because we did that one by hand and we did it on a Saturday. My son was there to help and we really did something cool there. So water features are addictive. As soon as you get that sound of running water, you kind of want to figure out how to get it everywhere around your house. So no matter where you're sitting, you're having that tranquil, soothing sound of water. Really excited. This is totally my vibe. There's some beautiful rocks in here that are just calling to me, and I really can't wait to see how Adam's design comes to life here. It was really a team effort, but we really let Adam kind of take the lead on how to make the water dance and do different things, and I really think we got a great water motion and some really good twisting and turning, some split waterfalls, a dramatic waterfall, a rapid section. It's got everything, so the sound is going to be really tranquil and harmonious. All right, with that being said, we've got a lot of work to do. We'll get you a little teaser, and then like I said, tune in 2 weeks because then we're going to really show this off. We'll have some slow-mo footage, some beauty shots, a little bit of talking about the project, and then we'll really highlight it. So thanks for joining us. Project complete. Just get you a little teaser so you tune in for the final review. We are Pond King Water Gardens, where we create living works of art 1 yard at a time.